Happy Sunday. Hi, Janet. My week was good. How was your week? Hey, Wit. My week was good. My week was good. I was in New York for a few days cuz we went to the Oprah Winfrey had a um she had a podcast, and so we were like a part of the audience. So I went with a group of friends. It was so much fun. Hey, Karen. It's been a while, Karen. You've been busy? Yesterday we had our annual client appreciation event, and it was so much fun. Oh my gosh. We did hire like a professional videographer and photographer. So I'm gonna once that video is edited, we're definitely gonna put it on the channel. Just Karen said just a little bit. I know. We all tend to get like really busy, especially around the holidays too. So yeah, yesterday we were able to celebrate our past clients and even some of the clients that we currently have under contract, and it was just a really good experience, good food, good music. We had it was kind of like a paint party. It was so good. It was so good. It was Wit said your video from your time on stage that you posted on Facebook was fire. Thank you, Wit. Yeah, I actually you probably weren't on the call, but we mm, everybody watched the entire video, like the entire 10-minute talk. Karen said, glad you enjoyed your time in my city. Yes. I mean, I don't miss New York by any means. Like the food was on point. I love the food there, right? But the hustle and bustle, all the people, I'm just like, I do not miss this at all. Like, at all. Hey, James. Oh, Vic didn't edit that, but thank you. Hi. Karen said I won't either once I get out of here. Yeah. So we stood in the city, and we stood in Midtown, and I think it was Midtown. By is Madison, no, not Madison Square. Is Times Square considered Midtown? I don't even know. That's a great question. That's a really good question. Hi, Phil. Phil just got back from Florida yesterday. How was spending time with your daughter? Hey, Sarah. Open house this weekend went well. Yes. I can't wait to get you guys over here. Hey, Pedro. Okay, so yeah, so then we were in Midtown. We stood in like an Airbnb, and it was a really decent Airbnb. The only thing is that we were on the fourth floor and there was no elevator. So we had help bringing our maletas upstairs, but coming downstairs, we were struggling. Whit said, I seen Vic this week at EXP rally. My director of sales was like, we need to hire him. Oh, I seen. Wait, you guys were at the sales rally? I wasn't. I was in New York, so I wasn't at the sales rally. Carlos said, hello, Alexis. Sorry we missed yesterday's event. We'll go next year if you have one. Yes, Carlos, of course. We have one every year for our clients. So you would definitely be invited to next year's client appreciation event. Oh, wait, I didn't even know you was there. Yes, Vic was DJing. Yes, he loves to DJ. Yeah, Janet, I was in New York City for just for 2 nights. Oh, your baby's sick, Phil. I know a lot of people are sick right now. I hope she feels better. Hey, Cosette. Cosette could tell you. Cosette was there yesterday looking fabulous. She was at the client appreciation event. Oh, I can't wait to put up the pictures and the video so that you guys can see. A time was definitely had. Oh, wait, I didn't even know you was at our office. Oh my gosh, Jana. I didn't even think about that, Jana. Jana said had she known that I was there, she would have met up with me. Next time I go to New York, I'll definitely reach out. I know I'm gonna be there probably. Hold on, September, October, November, December, January. Hold on, October, November, December, January. I'll probably be there the beginning of February because I gotta get my hair done. So we can definitely make it something. We can meet up. I Cosette. The video guy will need to do some major editing. You're so funny. We asked our clients to give us some video testimonials. And that's what she's talking about. Yes. Well, we can definitely like meet up somewhere either. Yeah, because I go to Jersey to get my hair done. But I could stay there because usually my hair takes all day. So I can definitely make it like somewhere where I'm just staying there for another day. All right. So there have been people that who have asked me they don't quite understand what a CDD is. So I kind of wanted to break that down. I know a lot of you know what it is, but there are some people who just don't quite understand what a CDD is. So a CDD is a community district development fee, and that basically means is that when some builders they do not how do I say this, develop the community, so they hire the county to go ahead and develop it for them. So what happens is then they have to take out a bond, and it's usually a 30-year bond. And but the bond gets put onto the homeowners. Okay, so whether so when you move into the house now, you are, how do I say this, you're responsible for the CDD. So the CDD is an extra added tax, right? And it basically upkeeps the infrastructure of the community. So if there's a CDD, there's definitely an HOA. But if there's an HOA, that doesn't mean that there necessarily is a CDD. So it's just going to depend if a CDD is worth it or not, right? So for example, in my community, I live in a CDD. I have a CDD, and I couldn't tell you that it was like it's absolutely worth it, right? I mean, my community is pretty well maintained, but my HOA is very low. So my HOA is only $150 per year. and the CDD is about $2,900 for the year. So if I do the CDD, if I divide that by 12, I'm paying $241 essentially per month with my added taxes, right? And I mean, it's just it's different for everyone, right? So if you're getting a really good if you're getting a really good interest rate, it might make sense, or what the community is offering, the location, right? So for example, for me, I have a 1.99 interest rate, right? And so my mortgage payments is less than $2,000 per year. So it doesn't really make a big difference to me, but I've seen where CDDs are about $3,000 per year, and the community has a lot, right? They have a clubhouse, they have a gym, they have multiple playgrounds, dog park. I definitely think if it makes sense mortgage wise, that it's worth it, right? um Let me answer. Okay, with CDD added, what's the point in property tax? What's the difference between? So the CDD is basically, it's to upkeep the infrastructure of the community. The property taxes are going to be where that money is being allocated to the police department, to the schools, to the fire department. So they're two separate things, but so one is it. So the CDD is a non-ad valorem tax, right? And so we've had this conversation where the governor is talking about possibly getting rid of property taxes, right? So if they were to get rid of property taxes, you'll still have the CDD because it's a non-ad valorem tax, right? um and then of course you have HOA. So HOA, it's homeowners association fee, right? It's basically to keep uniformity in the community. Now a lot of people don't like HOAs, right? A lot of people prefer not to have an HOA, but I always say it's a double-edged sword, right? Depending on where you are at, right? Because sometimes if you don't have an HOA, right, then your neighbor could paint their house purple or pink, right? They could have 50,000 cars in the lawn, or junk cars, or it looks like a junkyard, right? And then it's going to bring down your home value, especially if you're trying to sell your house, right? But then also you also have where homeowners associations, yes, they can definitely they'll be the first ones to take your house, right? For example, I cannot make this up. So Victor was only responsible to pay the HOA. Now, the HOA in my community, as I said, it's only $150 per year. It gets paid in January. Well, he forgot to pay the HOA, okay? And because he forgot to pay the HOA, and I didn't know, I thought he paid for it, they put a lien on my house for $150, okay? And then they started the foreclosure process for $150, right? So you have to be very, very, very careful in that sense. And a lot of people don't like being told what to do, right? So in an HOA community, you definitely have to get permission, right? And a request to, if you want to change the outside of your exterior house color, right? If you want to add a fence, if you want to add a pool, if you want to enclose your lanai, anything that you're doing to the outside of the property needs to be approved by the HOA. Also, what I wanted to mention, I forgot, when it comes to the CDD, so a CDD, right? You have the actual bond, but you also have an operating and maintenance portion of it. So once that 30 years is up for the bond, you still will always have that operating and maintenance portion of it. It won't be as much, but you'll still have something, right? So for example, one of the builders that Katrina and I did in Wesley Chapel, which is William Ryan Homes, they are actually, one of their incentives is that they're paying off the CDD, right? But you'll still have that operating and maintenance portion of it, which I thought was a really, really good option, so that you're not stuck with the entire portion. With CDD, okay, answer. Hi, Theo. Nika said, is the portable mortgage in effect already, or is it in the works? Is it the 50-year mortgage you're talking about? Hi, Arlene. Karen said, I prefer to not have an expensive HOA, which is why I like Calessa Township. Wait, tell us what's happening with Calessa Township, because from what I heard, Calessa Township, Perliner Grove is already like sold out in the sense of buildable lots. And hold on. What I was saying, I'm sorry, I got distracted. Whatchamacallit? There's a new phase coming in Calessa Township. Oh, I'm super zoomed in. Oh, Katrina said I'm super zoomed in. What is going on? I don't know. They have a new. Hold on. How do I? Oh, I am super zoomed in. What in the world? Oh, I don't know what I'm doing, guys. Hold on. Hold on. I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know why I look so give me 1 second. There's 2 video feeds. What is going on? I don't know what I did. Hold on. Okay. Not right now, baby. What is that? Wings. Hold on. Barbecue wings. Why does it look like, okay. Hold on. I'm not gonna eat just yet. Give me a second. Hold on, guys. I don't know what I did. Give me a second. Visual. One is zoomed. One, I don't know what I did. Hold on. Display. There was a new option and I don't know what I did. Hold on, guys. On my phone, you are super close, but on the TV app is fine. That's so weird. Oh, because there's a phone option that I see now. Edit. Let me see. But if I remove it. How about now? Is it the same thing? If you remove it, you cancel the live. I don't know. I don't know what I did, guys. Okay, Witt said there are no home sites to build, only move-in ready options, and those are getting slim. We're moving into our next community in December. So it's not necessarily, it's not, is it like a sub community in Kalesa? It's called something like Chestnut Grove or something like that, right? Talk to me about that. Billy said what can they do with the property after confiscating it due to past due HOA fees? They could sell it because it's now their property. Nika, I have to find out about the portable mortgage rate. Karen said, because of the school issue with my daughter, I'll probably end up in one of the last communities available for building my own home. The bank doesn't have a say, so they could take the house from you, but no, the bank doesn't have a say. It's crazy. Like, it's basically like the HOA will be the first one to take the house. Whit said yes, so we will be building all new model homes on Chestnut Grove. So you're gonna do a whole model park, or is that what you're saying? Like new models? Get out. Hi, I'm great. How are you? Do we still have the two feeds going on? Cosette. Hold on. What said when it's done, you're gonna be so impressed. Oh yeah, I'm excited. That's awesome. And so, okay, so we have yes, they will continue with the mark, but they'll end up selling it, so they can sell it. They can sell it. It's crazy, I'm telling you. One is a phone live and one is a TV version. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what I did. I was pressing some buttons because it was new and I obviously didn't read. Yeah, I don't know what I did. And I try to go in the maybe layouts. No. Camera. What's up? If you have a, you might cover yourself. No. Okay. All right, so we have so we talked about the HOA, we talked about the CDD, homeowners insurance. It is, we already know it's going to be dependent on where you're buying, right? So if you're buying on the coast, if you're close to the water, your home insurance is going to be more money, right? But if you're more inland, right, buying a brand new home, your homeowners insurance is not going to be a lot. In Ocala specifically, you can have homeowners insurance, from what I've seen, like as low as the $700, $800 per year. In like Central Florida, like St. Cloud, Davenport, I've seen about $1,200 to $1,500 per year. Okay, the phone option was coming in as like a real, or those. Okay, there should be a law that it takes 3 months missed before a lien. Well, no, to be fair, right? So I didn't find out, as far as like the HOA, I didn't find out until like April. So January, February, March, April. So it was around 3 months. But it ended up costing me almost $1,000, right? So $150 turned into almost $1,000 because they put on any attorney fees, late fees, administrative fees, and all this other stuff. So it was just, I was so upset. Victor slept on the couch for a few days, I'll tell you that much, because I was so mad, so mad. um what else? Okay, closing costs. So if you guys know that you also, when you're buying a house, you have your down payment, right? But you also have closing costs. A lot of people don't know. Yes, Billy, he slept on the couch for a few nights. A lot of people don't know that you have closing costs. So what are closing costs? So closing costs are accumulation of fees, right? Such as loan origination fees, taxes, prorated taxes, title fees, transfer fees, right? So that's usually around 3 to 4% of the purchase price. Sometimes it's more depending on the builder, because sometimes the builder doesn't cover the owner title policy. They put that charged onto the buyers, right? So sometimes your closing costs can be a lot more. Now, you have builders like Highland Homes. So Highland Homes does pay all of your closing costs, and if I can remember correctly, they'll will pay your prorated taxes as well. They'll pay your prepaids as well. So for the most part, all you have to think about is your down payment, and then of course if you're doing an inspection, that's out of pocket fees. So your your appraisal fee is an out of pocket fee, and your in appraisal and inspection is going to depend on the square footage of the home, right? Normally it ranges about 450 to about $600, and you guys know that I always recommend you to get an inspection on the house, even if it's a brand new home. Okay. And normally, so you do have a survey, but normally the survey is paid with your closing cost. So it's not an out of pocket fee, it is closing cost. Okay. So a survey is basically, if you are paying cash for a house, you do not need a survey. It's wise to get a survey, especially if you're gonna build a fence, right? But if your financing is part of the conditions, you need a survey. So that the title company takes care of that as far as ordering the survey, but that's something that you pay for as well. Home warranty could be an added cost only if you're doing a resale, right? So like, let's say if you have a resale home and you just want to be covered, you can get home warranty, right? It's gonna depend on what package. Normally they have 3 packages, and each package is gonna offer something, basic, more than basic, and then premium, right? Normally it's also going to depend if it's a single family home, a condo, or a townhome. That can range about $600 as well. With the brand new homes, you're going to automatically, for the most part, have home warranty. Now there is one specific builder in Ocala that only does one, and it's a smaller builder, but they have a lot of homes, a 1 year warranty, not even structural, not even a 10-year structural or anything. 1 year, and that's it. After 1 year and 1 day, everything is on you, which I don't like and I don't appreciate. Whit said, what's your thought? Hi, Elizabeth. Whit said, what's your thought on the 50-year mortgage idea? So I feel like the 50-year mortgage, at a 50-year mortgage at 50 years old is wild. So I have mixed feelings about it. Vic is not a big fan of it, and the reason why, he's like, I just, number one, they're gonna make, of course, more money, right? Because you have interest on 50 years now, and also it's just kind of like, it's like you're locked in, right? Like it's like 50 years, it's gonna add more buyers to the market, I feel, right? Because you're spreading the payment over 50 years. You're spreading it over 50 years now, but I'm not really like, I have to look at it. I haven't really like dove into it because it's just brand new. I don't know how I really like if it's really worth it, right? What do you guys think about the 50-year mortgage? I know when you really think about it, like a 50-year mortgage at 50 years old is wild. I'm going to take a bite of my pizza. It will give younger buyers, the grandkids will have to pay it off. It will give younger buyers a chance to get a home. Elizabeth said nuts. A 50-year mortgage. So now they're going to start offering 50-year mortgages as opposed to a 30-year mortgage. Raymond said late stage capitalism. I'm down if the mortgage is $800 or yeah. Lower payments, it depends on what the interest rates are. I don't know too much about it just yet. It's brand new. I don't like the 50-year mortgage. Maybe I can have Will come on here and explain the 50-year mortgage to us. Whit said, I agree, more in interest rates, but it might be the only way some people can purchase a home. This is true. Pedro said 50 years only truly benefits the lender, like the month car loan. You don't seem well. You okay? Can barely open your eyes. No, I'm fine. It's just, I think it's the fan. 72. Oh yeah, I know. So because the car, what, 72 months is 5 years, right? It depends on if the buyer, if you can afford the payment. I personally, I mean, I've known people to do, like, I've had buyers who done the 15-year, right? Because they're like, listen, I don't want a loan for 30 years, right? So to go from 30 to 50, that's definitely, you're adding 20 years. Being 60 a 50-year mortgage seems crazy, but if the interest rates are also lower, then I would just double or triple pay the principal each month. This is true. They are going to do 40-year mortgages, I think, because they said that. Yeah, we definitely, I'm thinking maybe we could have Will on here to see what the benefits are, right? For 50-year, from a lender perspective, right? For buyers. Kelly said, I don't like the 50-year mortgage because you'll never be free. It's just, it's kind of like, it's like it yeah, I feel like it would just be, daunting a little bit, right? It's like I have 50 years, at least with like, so for example, 30, so I have a 30-year mortgage. I've owned my house for 5 years, so I have 25 years left. I mean, that's still a lot too when you think about it, right? um Cosette said, Will, such a nice guy. Bring him on. Yeah, I may just bring him on. So maybe he could talk about the portable mortgage that Nico asked for, and then the 50-year mortgage. Wait said, I mean, it's not very often we pay off homes and cars. Let's take the 50, and when you sell, you pay it off just like people do now. This is very true. You make a very good point, Wit, because not a lot of people even stay the 30 years in their house. They sell between, honestly, I think the average years that someone stays in the house is like, I feel like it was like 5 to 7 years. I can't remember. Pedro said, I remember before the bailout of 2008, that's how people got in trouble. I remember when the bank were more responsible for when it came to loans. Are you Catalina and Cassidy? Yes, I am. James said, I agree with Pedro. Elizabeth said, exactly. Elizabeth said, I'm on house number 4. Yeah. So it may not be a bad idea when you look at it from that perspective, right? Where it's like, okay, you take a 50-year loan because maybe the payments are going to be a lot less, but that's not going to be your forever home, right? That may be a good opportunity, but again, we need to know more information, like, right, are the interest rates different, right? Like, what are the terms when it comes to that? What's, what are the pros and the cons? Because I haven't done one, right? So I couldn't tell you what the pros and the cons are. So I'm thinking maybe we could have Will on. Arlene said the bailout was necessary because they were giving people mortgages they didn't qualify for. That's crazy. That is so crazy that somebody could buy a $800,000 house and not show, not have verified income or anything like that. Like, that's how, that's how 2008 happened. That's crazy. Imagine. Karen agrees with Wit. So I think this is a really, really good topic, right? Now, we're no longer in the shutdown, right? The government shutdown. So I know we had a few people who was affected by it. Anybody here that works for the government that is now, well, did you guys get virtual paid? Because I know you guys were still working. Oh, this fan is bussing. I couldn't even turn off this fan. So I'm gonna see if Will could do it. Oh my gosh. Wait, is next week Thanksgiving already? Oh my gosh, I think next week is no. Yeah. Next Thursday is Thanksgiving already. What are you guys doing for Thanksgiving? Side note. What are you guys doing? Time is flying by. Oh my goodness. Next Thursday already. Yes, Elizabeth, we're gonna meet up. Wit is gonna be in DR. What? Hmm. No, not this week, but next week, right? A week and a half. James said back then they were giving 125% no doc loans. That's crazy. They moved things. Yeah, it's next Thursday. Not this Thursday, next Thursday. Cosette said next year client appreciation in Punta Cana. You heard that, Katrina? Mm.
Yeah, have you tried the food yet?
Yeah, is the remote for the fan there? Can I have it, please? Are you alive? Oh. Yeah, I'm alive. My dad was on me. That he was so good. It made me full quick. Katrina, vámonos. Katrina said no balloons then. Oh my goodness. Didn't Katrina do an amazing job setting up for yesterday? I'm eating, guys. I'm sorry. I'm starving. Katrina said Punta Cana is the decor. Yeah, we have one more weekend before then. Okay. Billy said I can't wait for them to move Christmas. Billy, when are they gonna where are they gonna move Christmas to? Cosette says she sure did. She really did. I tell you, I don't have no decorative like imagine creativity. No. That's all Katrina. Have a good week with nothing, nothing, nothing. Okay, guys, I have a question. If you're relocating, right? Are you driving and moving everything yourself, or do you or have you hired like a moving company? Cosette said, oh my goodness. And Will's wife's cupcakes, yes, she did an amazing job. She had Katrina in a chokehold with the shooters. Katrina really liked the strawberry shortcake. She's a strawberry shortcake type of person, and she really loves like banana, and things like no, not banana. Well, she's very particular with her banana like pudding, but she really likes like lime and all lemon and oh, I can't do all of that. But let me see. Pod. Okay, that's what my friends did. They drove it down. Okay, okay. I've had a lot of clients do the pod. Then I've had a lot of clients just do it them like move themselves. And then I have a few where they hire like a moving company, right? So that's something that we have to take into consideration too, as far as like the stuff, the funds you need to move, right? Because we, yes, if you want new furniture and stuff like that, but that comes little by little, right? But I'm talking about the necessities. So the necessity is, your startup on your electricity, right? Sometimes they require a deposit. Sometimes the water company requires a deposit, right? And then of course, self-moving. If you're gonna move, you have your boxes, your tapes, and all of that other stuff. Maybe you're gonna have to hire a therapist because you and your spouse are fighting when it's moving time, all right? We already know that. Pedro said using a moving company. Okay. James said take very little and drive myself. Okay. Okay. Karen said we'll be using a moving company for a lot of my stuff, but I'm looking forward to buying newer stuff. Yes, for your forever home, absolutely. I feel like if you're in that spot where you can just like buy everything new, I think that's amazing because you can get the furniture to fit the space. Cosette said moving is a marriage patience tester. Oh yes, moving and building something. Oh, me and Vic always fight. So we haven't moved in 5 years. So I don't know, but building, he don't like building anything. That is a marriage patience tester. Absolutely. Elizabeth said we used the moving company when we lived in Pennsylvania. Wasn't great. I mean, yeah, I feel like it's a give or take. I've had it where clients have told me that they use services where they literally like the moving company packs everything for them, the boxes, they don't have to do anything, and they'll take it up, load it and unload it. But I'm pretty sure that that's a pretty penny. What's up, baby? Hi, baby. I'm pretty sure that's a pretty penny. Huh. Okay, what's up? Pedro said it can cost more to move the furniture than it's worth. That's very true too, Pedro. That's very, very, very true. Katrina said that they almost paid $12,000 to move to Florida. To be very honest with you, when we moved to Florida, we didn't have a lot. We did not have a lot. Everything we had literally fit in a literally fit in a trailer. So we had a car and we had the hitch and we just we moved like that. That was the cheapest option for us at that time. Now we would not be able to fit anything in the trailer. That's when we just had, oh my gosh. We just had the two boys. Katrina said, but you better believe they packed every single thing except clothes, bathroom, and kitchen. Okay. Kelly said, I've done both and both were a nightmare. Even like hiring the company, what was a nightmare? Did they break stuff? Did they break your stuff? Did they misplace it? I don't know who I was telling. I think I was telling Katrina this yesterday. We've definitely outgrown our house. So I'm just ready for a new house. It's still probably gonna take a year or two. I really want to build custom and I want some land, but Vic doesn't want to move to Ocala. He wants to be closer to Orlando. So I don't know. And then Katrina wants me to go to Wesley Chapel. So I'm not sure. Kelly said breaking stuff and losing stuff. Man, I'm telling you. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I mean, we have a whole moving team here, right? We have 6 kids. So, I mean, you know, I don't want lava cake. No, I'm not done. I'm still eating. But I don't want I actually want another pineapple. I don't want this. All right, so who in here is moving in 2026? Anybody? I know Elizabeth is. Elizabeth, she's already like I cannot wait. Billy said facts. Listen. Even my both Big Boys and Kit Kat helped Katrina set up yesterday. We got a whole team over here. Arlene said, I'm trying. I know, Arlene. I know. Phil said, Renee said, God willing us. Yes. Katrina said Kit Kat is the best helper. She really is. She really, really is. Guys, I want to let you guys know something, right? And it's not from my mouth, right? So I forgot, Katrina, I think it's you who told me this. Where one of our vendor partners, right? They were at our client appreciation event where she was like, oh my goodness. She said, I could feel the love from everybody in this event. Like she felt such a connection between Katrina and I with our clients, right? And she said that she has went to many different client appreciation event and she has never like felt and witnessed such love in the room. And that's just a testament to our YouTube fam, right? Like it really, really, really is. We absolutely love our clients. Yes, there are some clients who I didn't even invite because I never want to talk to them ever again, right? I'm just being totally honest with you. I'm not going to invite you just to invite you. If you were mean, if you were nasty, if you were rude to us, no, right? But I'm just super appreciative, and I'm appreciative of Katrina. I'm so grateful that she's a part of Evolve Estates, and she sees the vision and she sees the love, and she's a part of it, right? And yes, so I'm super excited. Um Hold on. Janet said, I wish. I know, Janet. I know. Katrina said, yep. She said, you can tell this is not just transactional. She said she saw the hugs and real emotions. Toya was like, how was it? Yeah, Toya, the client appreciation was amazing. Katrina said, Katrina said, I can't say it. The vibes were top tier and everyone's artwork was amazing. Yes. Oh my goodness. James said, yes, 2026, God willing, 2 clients I didn't like. LOL. I get it. Listen, James, there's some people where I'm just like, I don't understand like how I attracted you, right? Like, I don't get it. But and then there were some clients who were very disrespectful, especially to Katrina. Hold on, guys. I have a call that I have to give me 1 second.